Hey, it's me. Today I was like, hey, let's it's a 3-day weekend. Let's start out with a little bit of Downwell, and I ended up beating the game. So right now I'm using the PlayStation SHAREfactory to record audio commentary, kind of over this game as I'm watching, and the PlayStation only saves up to 15-minute long clips, so it doesn't quite start at the beginning. Uh, you can see there that I've got 5 hit points already. The beginning of the game isn't always that exciting to begin with. I've got my 2 favorite power-ups down there in the left-hand corner, the knife and fork, which allows me to eat dead enemy bodies, like just happened there, and then the apple, which gives me 4 extra hit points, which allowed me to get the 5th one. Right now, I'm just making my way there through the catacombs, and it's hard because even though this was maybe half an hour ago that I did this, I don't remember like how the flow of the game went, and it's hard because you play so many of them because the games are so short before you beat it that it's kind of hard to remember what happened and what. So there I go, doing pretty well. Man, this is recording after the fact is way harder than recording during because you don't get all the like the not just the commentary track as I'm playing it, but also like the sound effects, the huh and the huh and the huh that I make while I'm playing. Oh no, this is where I got the apple. So yeah, I've got 6 hit points. I'm doing pretty well, and I'm on the 3rd area. So, I mean, you can. I'm off to a great start, and I've got the blast shoes on as well that make a blast below you. I picked them in an earlier round. They're not my favorite thing in the world, but they're definitely helpful in the later levels. So I've got that. That was the first thing I picked. You can see it there on the very far left, I think. And then I've got a power-up that attracts. I think I've got the gem attractor as well, the knife and fork, which allows me to eat the remains of the enemies. The one that pops a bullet up whenever I get a gem. That anything that puts a bullet above you is super helpful because, of course, a lot of enemies come down from above. And in your default state, you don't really have any recourse for dealing with that. Also have youth down there, which is a thing that allows you 1 more option every time you choose, which is why I get 4 instead of 3, and also ups your hit points by 1. If you don't have your very favorite thing on the list, that one's always a solid choice. And then, of course, I just got the apple, which increases my hit points by 4. It filled that little white bar and gave me an extra max hit point. So, yeah, this the RNG was pretty kind to me. I love that apple. I love that knife and fork. I've got, I think, every single one of the ones that increases my hit points. I don't think there are any more in the queue that allow me to increase them any further with items that I get after level. Hard choice between the energy drink and the sushi, because the sushi will put me at 1 towards my next total hit point, and the energy drink will not do that, but it'll give me an extra little bit of energy to use for my gun. So I'm just going with the flow here down the 3rd level. I think this is a part where I get I might have gotten wrecked up on this. I played a couple of games, and I don't remember which one it was, but the 3rd level did me pretty wrong in one of them. Laser sight is great for the boss, because a lot of the weapons in this game stop pretty short. Like, they don't have a very huge range, and the laser is the obvious exception that I'm using here. But a lot of the weapons don't have very much range on them, like machine gun or triple don't have very much range on them, and that's kind of hard when you have to have your bullets get to the bottom of the screen. So laser sight, maybe not super useful in the very first part of the game, but for the boss, if you can take it and you don't have anything that's vital to your playstyle, Definitely take that one if you can, just before the end of the game. And those little chompy dudes, they always hang out beneath the overhangs, and they're such a pain in the butt because it's hard to hit them, and then they come after you immediately once they're anywhere near you. And that guy got me, and that guy got me. Yeah, this is the one where this one level just did me so wrong. But I've already told you how this ends, so don't feel suspenseful there on my account. Candle, also great for the final boss if you can get it. Again, not as important. It increases your invulnerability time after you get hit. And unless you're much better at this game than I am, the final boss will hit you. There's really a lot going on there that you have to worry about. So having that extra second or two is pretty nice. Now, in the fourth area, if you're looking for tips, you get... I've experimented with this, and your combos, of course, give you extra gems and extra hearts if you reach a certain point. But after a 25 combo, you can get an achievement for 100 combo. So, I mean, definitely, if you don't have that and you're good on that, keep going for it. But the rewards for that run out. The material rewards for that run out, the gameplay rewards for that run out after 25. So if you have an opportunity to land and you have 25, do it. Because there's an opportunity to land at the beginning of each level, and there's if you go to the far right outside one of those bubbles that comprise the little stop-offs for weapon things, you can also just run to the right or left, depending on what side it's on. You can run to the very edge of the cliff and take advantage of that as well. See, I had that 25 combo right there at the end of the level, which is really pretty convenient for me. It was really lucky that I got that. But you'll also see me get another 25 combo or two in these levels and take advantage of them by running onto that little extra bit of platform. And even if it doesn't look like there's an extra little bit of platform like it does there, you can still run off to the very corner and it'll count it. Also, you can see I'm jumping out of those instead of walking out. That's because inside of those bubbles obviously doesn't affect your combo meter at all. I got very lucky there with the drone destroying that thing before it hit me, and I'll need every hit point I can possibly get, as you'll see here in a little bit. I'm about to reach that 25, there I go, and this is a good example of, you'll see how I can just run off of the right here, and it'll give me that combo. So, if you're playing this game, make sure to kind of take advantage of the order of things, and make sure you know, which isn't difficult, like it is, it's not as subtle as it is in some games, but now you know that a 25 combo is really the ideal place for you to stop. When I was first playing this, I thought that probably I'll talk about the balloon here in a second. When I first started playing this game, I was like, oh yeah, 100 combo, that'll get you, it may get you more gems. I haven't really checked, but the main thing for me is hit points, especially doing arm spin style, because shops don't show up that much anyway, and you usually have the gems and stuff. Also got the balloon there. And right here, I have over 25, but I decided to jump out because it won't do me any good right now. I mean, it could get me a thing towards my next hit point, but let's be real at this point, I probably won't get another one. So there I got hit. I'll be able to take advantage of that 25. It's a good thing I saved it, because like I said, I have defeated the boss. And you'll kind of see what I mean. See, I have plenty of gems because this guy doesn't get shops this often, and there's a shopkeep item that puts the shopkeeper at the beginning of every level. But I don't like that one much, because if you don't have the gems for it, the shopkeeper really isn't that useful. And going through without having very many shopkeeper instances makes sure that you will have enough gems to afford what he's selling. Rocket Jump is also a very good one to have for the boss, because he spawns a lot of enemies, and Rocket, like, it's kind of hard to see what with everything that's going on. So, and this is the last one, so I could just buy, you know, energy boost for my gun. But the boss spawns lots and lots of enemies, as you'll see here, and the rocket jump allows you to, whenever you jump, you kind of get a burst around the sides, and that takes out the enemies. And if you were about to get hit, maybe you didn't even make the conscious decision to, you know, jump and get the enemy that way, but it's very useful as far as you know, maybe just allowing you to luck out. And I mean, if you're good enough, obviously, you'll do it consciously, but at this point, I'm mostly focused on just hitting the boss. And that's another thing, is you'll definitely want the knife and fork for this fight, because it provides you with those critical, terribly important extra hit points. He's coming after me, man. And I really like how they did the boss. He has a little mini stage for every stage of the actual game. And this place is giving me like nothing but spike platforms, and it's terrible. But you know, you got to put up with it. If you want to beat the boss, you got to go through a stage and play it legit. So, and that laser sight, Triple would not have reached him right now if I did not have that laser sight. So, laser sight, I mean, depending on what weapon you have and what weapons you get, but I wouldn't, like, it's a risk you take if you don't have the laser sight. And that is, if you do have it, you don't have to worry about it. I am not currently worrying about it right now. That triple burst is brutal, because if you're too close to them, you can hardly fit between the things, and if you're too far away, they cover, like, the entire area of the screen. I like to try and, like, lure him over to one side of the screen if I see he's going to do it, and then just gun jump my way over to the other. And there's no safe spot, because they go through walls as well, which is really not super great. You can see I did it there from right to left. And boy, the fact that they make you go through the water area and make you get the bubbles is just a little bit cruel. And as you can see, this is a very, very close thing right now. It's very... And fortunately, there was a heart right there. I got one of the extra hit points out of the dead enemy. And just the laser is also super helpful. Right now, what do I have? Like, I don't know what I have right now. Probably burst or something. I wasn't paying attention there when I just got it. Oh, I do have the laser. It's just that I have enough bullets that it makes it look like I have something else. And just... at this point, I was sweating, I was shaking, and there he goes. There's the boss, and I was like, oh man, I hit the record, like, I hit the, when I had the presence of mind to, I hit the, record button, but I was like, how am I gonna, because usually what I've used the recording button for is for, like, having short video clips to put up on, like, a blog that I do. So, I don't typically use it, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna do this? Surely there's some option for adding commentary, and I found the SHAREfactory and downloaded that. And that's the end of Downwell. By the way, he went down there to, our hero Gemini Christmas went down to find the cat. The cat is at the bottom of the well. Spoiler alert. Now you know.